Live from Shea Stadium in New York. Tonight, the New York Mets battle their crosstown rivals, the New York Yankees, in the second mid-season Subway Series. Mets Baseball 98 is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Boy, this is great. Pitching for the Yankees, Hideki Irabu, 6-3, a 2.19 ERA. And on the mound for the Mets, left-hander Al Leiter, 9-3, and he leads the majors in earned run average.
For the next 3 nights, the train stops right here, Shea Stadium in New York. Welcome, everybody. Mets and Yankee fans will get it together. Con Ed may make electricity for a lot of New York, but these folks are going to be generating even more for the next 3 nights. For the 107th time, these two New York teams go at one another. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, along with Tim McCarver, and welcome. This has been a long-anticipated series. Timmy, it finally kicks off here tonight, and with the matchup on the mound, what a way to begin.
And they will be watching from Toms River, New Jersey to Chiba, Japan. Representing Toms River, he leads the majors in earned run average. Al Leiter, the left-hander with a 1.60 ERA. He's 9-3. And representing Chiba, Japan, and the American League Yankees, he leads the American League in earned run average, Hideki Irabu. And really, you've heard it many times in sports, but I got to tell you, the hype's worth it. It doesn't get any better than this.
None better than this. They've been here for a long time waiting for this game to start. The fans have. The rain clouds have gone away. It is a baseball night. So when we come back, why don't we play? Game 1, Mets and Yankees, right here on 9 when we return. Right after this from Budweiser. Our national anthem tonight will be performed by recording artist Brian McKnight. He is behind home plate and ready to go.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Brian McKnight. You see the folks still coming from the subway station into Shea Stadium. Full house, obviously, for all 3 of these games, and the electricity, probably nothing like this since 1986 when that man was playing right field for the Mets.
Even in 1988, when the Mets played the Los Angeles Dodgers in the playoffs, and David Cohn went 20-3 that year, this place was not like that. It is riveting this evening.
Folks were showing up here early this afternoon. Parking, setting up the grills. Yogi Berra is on hand to throw out the first ball. Mets and Yankees. After this from Citibank. Some noise as the New York Mets take the field. Mets manager catcher Bobby Valentine said he hoped it wouldn't be 50-50 in the applause. It isn't. It's 100% for Yogi Berra. The great Yankee catcher and the only man to play and manage for both the Mets and the Yankees.
Shea Stadium holds about 52,000 more than Yogi Berra Stadium, recently built over in Montclair, New Jersey. One of the most popular personalities in New York sports history, Yogi Berra.
A great hand for him. As he leaves here, he's going to stay and watch the game. What a great pitching matchup we have for you here in tonight's game. For the New York Mets, their 32-year-old left-hander, Leiter. That earned run average of 1.60 is the best not only in the National League, but in the majors. And he will go for his 10th win tonight and his 7th win in a row. He is 1-3 lifetime against the New York Yankees. And the Yankees lineup. Chuck Knobloch, the second baseman, leads it off. Derek Jeter, the shortstop, hitting second. Paul O'Neill batting third. Tim Raines hitting in the cleanup spot first time this year. Jorge Posada at first base. Chad Curtis, the center fielder, batting sixth. Scott Brochus at third. Joe Girardi, the catcher, batting eighth. And Hideki Irabu batting ninth. And defensively for the New York Mets, it will be the regulars all in the lineup here tonight. In the outfield, Bernard Gilkey back in, Brian McRae and Butch Husky. In the infield, Edgardo Alfonso, Ray Ordonez, Carlos Baerga, and John Olerud. Mike Piazza doing the catching, and Leiter on the mound. Ed Rapuano will be the home plate umpire tonight. Charlie Williams at first, Frank Pulley at second, and Bruce Dreckman will be over at third base. Rudy Giuliani, the mayor of the city of New York, Fred Wilpon, co-owner of the New York Mets, seated on the right side. George Steinbrenner to be here tonight with Joe Torre's New York Yankees. Nelson Doubleday also on hand, the other owner of the New York Mets. Bobby Valentine, the skipper of the Mets, talking about the level of intensity expected for tonight's game and how much it means to the fans here in New York. And that's what he's talking about right now. This is what it's all about. They are rocking. Leiter's ready. Knobloch up, and we're underway. Chopper, that went off the foot of Knobloch, foul, strike one.
And if you followed Leiter this season, you will know that the New York Yankee hitters will be facing 3 out of 4 pitches of that cut fastball inside on the hands. That's what it was to Knobloch. He is similar to Andy Pettitte, the left-hander who will start for the Yankees tomorrow. The biggest difference between the two, Leiter throws a heavy cutter, Pettitte throws a light cutter.
Knobloch takes the fastball just inside that time. Leiter has changed significantly the way he pitches. Andy Pettitte, Timmy was talking about as a comparison with that cutter pitch that is thrown. Leiter's gone much more to some off-speed stuff. Knobloch, left field. Gilkey's got room.
Batting second, number 2, shortstop Derek Jeter.
Chuck Knobloch hit that ball, and all of the Yankee bench got up on the top step. You can see in the background, watch. They think this ball's got a shot. Everybody up on the top step, and it's a routine out. But no, the players aren't affected by this game, huh, Gary?
They don't care.
No, it's just another ball game.
Just another game.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter celebrating a birthday today. How about that? 24 years old today in Game 1 of the Subway Series here at Shea. He fouls that one off the fist. Husky a long run, will not get to it. A foul ball and a 2-strike count on Derek Jeter. And there's the birthday signs. Some of the fans on hand here today for Jeter.
There are several things that are in dispute this evening, depending on whether you're a Yankee fan or a Met fan. The one thing that you cannot dispute is that there is one matinee idol on both rosters, and he's at the plate right now.
Is he that?
Yeah.
0-2 delivery to him. Fastball up high. 1-2 strike count. Jeter, of course, had been on the DL. The Yankees still playing without their center fielder, Bernie Williams, out of there. Derek Jeter on the 15-day DL with a strained abdominal muscle. Getting back in and hitting the ball hard again. Grounded to third. Edgardo Alfonzo, bad hop, but he played it. Olerud the pick. Good work at both ends.
Good work at both ends, Gary, but I still, and Edgardo Alfonzo will deny this, but I still think that he has problems with the back of that throwing shoulder. A strained rotator cuff put him on the disabled list in early May. And how many times have we seen John Olerud bail out Alfonzo on low throws and bad throws over the last 2 weeks?
And Timmy, you saw where he threw that from?
Yeah, under. That's right.
He's not on top of the ball.
No, that's right.
So Olerud had to get out and pick that a little bit. You get an infielder throwing like that, pretty good sign that there's a soreness up there. One of the game's great hitters, Paul O'Neill. Leiter gets the chopper. Carlos Baerga will make the play. Good inning for Al Leiter. His Major League best ERA wasn't hurt with that 1-2-3 inning. Mets coming up after this from Volkswagen.
Mets! No, you like the Mets, I like the Yankees, okay? I like the Mets. Yeah, you like the Mets.
To have a fan with him tonight. Could not say no to the bobblehead doll man from the other side.
Malicious looks on their faces,
They
however.
Hideki Irabu, 29-year-old right-hander. He has lost his last 2 starts, but a solid earned run average of 2.19 and 6-3 on the year. Irabu will make his first appearance here against the New York Mets, as they will have Edgardo Alfonzo, Bernard Gilkey, and Piazza due up. Alfonzo, a couple of hits in his last 8 at-bats. And the fastball is there. You can gauge the division of the crowd by the applause in these different situations tonight. It won't be hard to tell, because if they're here, they're making noise. Alfonzo with an 0-1 count. And the outside fastball that time. He doesn't chase. A ball and 1 strike on Edgardo.
The Mets have never faced a pitcher quite like Hideki Irabu as far as his motion is concerned. It's a very unusual front leg kick that they have to get used to, and that's it.
Alfonzo will foul that one off, no play. Almost like a rocking chair delivery when he takes the whole body back and then comes forward with it.
It's similar to the unusual move that Sid Fernandez, the left-hander for the Mets, used to have. His leg hits the ground before the arm comes around. A lot of times the right-handers will be behind those fastballs of Irabu, as Alfonzo was then.
A 1-2 strike count. Irabu with 60 strikeouts in 78 innings. And the 1-2 is fouled back again by Edgardo Alfonzo. New York Mets have all the regulars back in the lineup tonight. Alfonso's missed some time this year with injuries, and Gilkey, who had been out of there for a while, is batting in the number 2 spot here in tonight's game, hoping to get the bat going. 1-2 strike count on the Mets' third baseman. And the breaking ball fooled him badly, but he got a piece of it.
Gary, one of the fun things to compare these 2 teams and their players, and I guess if you're comparing Edgardo Alfonzo as a hitter, he's very similar to the hitting styles of Derek Jeter. They're both very, very good 2-strike hitters, and both hit for a high average. Jeter's going to get a lot more infield hits because of his speed.
1-2 by Irabu's the fastball, and that just missed. He'd set that fastball up with a breaking ball before, and has almost had Alfonzo on both of those pitches.
Very, very close. Girardi setting up outside off the plate. Irabu hits the mitt, but it's a ball.
2-2 delivery. And again, chopped foul.
That's very interesting. Girardi tried to get that strike off the plate on that prior pitch, and then on the 3-2 count, he moved the target back on the outside part of the plate. Nobody works the pitcher any better than Joe Girardi. There are some as good, but no one better.
And Alfonso working him over here in this at-bat. 2-2 the count. And he takes it full. Alfonso has struck out only 29 times for a leadoff batter. Only 27 walks, not a lot in that department. A contact hitter, though, is pushing that average up to 272 now after he'd had a slow start with that injury problem. First 3-2 delivery of the ball game. And fought off again. Boy, this is a great at-bat for the entire Mets team. To have him start this way against Irabu, he's now seen everything. Forced Irabu to throw a lot here early on and just one batter. Mel Stottlemyre, former Met pitching coach, now of course the New York Yankee pitching coach. This is going to be pitch number 10 coming up from Irabu on this at-bat. And he walked him.
Rest of the Mets lineup brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer, Gilkey, Piazza, and John Olerud, followed by Carlos Baerga, the second baseman. Butch Husky, the right fielder, hitting 6th. Brian McRae, the center fielder, hitting 7th. Ray Ordonez, the shortstop, will hit 8th. And Al Leiter, the pitcher, batting 9th. Now, in situations like this early in the year, Gilkey has bunted. And the one thing the Mets want to do against Irabu is bunt. He is a poor fielding pitcher.
2 sacrifices for Gilkey. Did not show bunt there. Takes the fastball up high. Ball 1. Gilkey has had only 3 hits in his last 42 at-bats. Cookie Rojas, third base coach of the Mets. Irabu checking over at first here. Jorge Posada in. Tino Martinez is out. He's got a bad shoulder bothering him, so he's out of the game today. Gilkey not bunting, fouls it back, 1-1 on a fastball. For Bernard Gilkey, a certain desire that he wants to hit away, because he is tearing about not being in the lineup the other night as a starter, and then coming in a double switch and not getting to hit later in the game.
It's in the 9th inning of the game against Baltimore last night.
So he's got some fire in his eyes right now. He and Bobby Valentine are on a collision course.
I agree with that.
At this point, there's some real hard feelings, and for reasons I'm not sure about, but they sure are there.
Yep.
1-1. Breaking ball. Gilkey not biting on that. Good stop made by Girardi.
That curveball on the outside, or low and away, invites the hit and run right here. Nice play by Girardi on the short hop. I would think Bobby Valentine will turn Alfonso loose here.
2-1 count. Irabu's had 1 pickoff this year. He varies the moves. Runner goes. Gilkey. He's got a base hit into right field. Alfonso's on his way to third. O'Neill into second. Mets will rally in the first inning.
Batting third, number 31, catcher Mike Piazza.
In the Spalding guide, it says, how does a right-hander hit and run? Well, it's like this. Knobloch covering, ground ball right side, Alfonso to third.
This is why Mike Piazza was acquired by the New York Mets. Right here. These situations. First and third. Nobody out.
Gary, a lot of National League pitchers that have movement inside try to jam Piazza. But the one thing that Irabu has to do to right-handers, for the most part, is stay away from right-handed hitters. He doesn't have a tailing fastball.
Piazza takes it in the dirt. Good block made. Girardi, that's 2 now that have really been outside and low that Girardi's had to block.
This is a fine play by Joe Girardi. under C in that same guide. That's how you block balls in the dirt.
It's a great block. Piazza, since coming over to the Mets, hitting .365, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Another breaking ball down and away again, 2-0.
See, everything's going to be away. If he comes in, it's going to be bad as John Olerud awaits on deck.
Irabu's got magnificent numbers. Opposition's hitting .203 against him. 200 by left-handers and .206 by right-handers. Those are unbelievable numbers. 2-0, and he stays away and misses. 3-0 the count on Piazza. Irabu, a loser in his last 2 starts and only 3 innings against Cleveland. In his last outing, he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits and walked 2. He's walked them loaded.
Partner, you said it right. That at-bat by Alfonso set up this inning. 10 pitches to Alfonso and the walk. Now, if Edgardo makes an out, then you don't have a chance to hit and run. Then he's not as fond of Piazza. And that at-bat by Alfonso, a case could be made that that's in large part the reason that the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And all the guys sitting got a chance to see all those pitches, like Bernard Gilkey, who got the base hit, and Piazza drew the walk. And John Olerud. Bases loaded, nobody out. Olerud, one of the best at getting them home. .333 with runners in scoring position, .325 overall. And up high, Irabu. He's missing all over the place here in the first inning. 13th start of the year, 22nd of his major league career. Hideki Irabu in trouble here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Olerud fouls it off.
It's of real concern to the Mets. John Olerud has been taking tired swings over the last 10 days. Most of his foul balls have been off to the left side. Even most of his fair balls have been off to the left side, as he has seen his batting average drop precipitously over the last 3 weeks.
146 since June 13, and it's not unusual for Olerud, who tends to tire mid-season. 1-1. Fastball away. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Olerud. Yankees infield pulled around a bit towards the middle. Broch's third baseman has moved over towards short, leaving that left field line open. Jeter, the shortstop, has swung around towards second base as well. The outfield actually plays him a little bit to left. 2-1 count. Fouled it off. Irabu comes back to even the count at 2-2. See how the center fielder Curtis has moved to left while the infielders on the left side are moved the other way.
Now the middle of the infield is playing for the double play. Play even more straight away. You don't have to cheat as much for a runner as slow as Olerud. You don't have to get to second as quickly. Piazza's slow, Olerud's slow. You don't have to worry about the takeout slide or the runner with the bat.
John is hit into 5 ground ball double plays. 2-2, bases loaded. Olerud takes it. Off-speed pitch.
Looked like a splinter. Joe Torre saying that pitch was just up a little bit. And as you see, Joe was right.
3-2. Nobody out. Be interesting tonight, Timmy. Bobby Valentine said he had word from Cleveland, did not specify the party, telling him that Irabu was tipping his pitches. Valentine would not say what he knew and whether that was just a ploy to have Irabu reading about or whether he actually knows something. He wouldn't say. 3-2 the count again to Olerud. Towards second base, Knobloch. Jeter, the relay, in time, double play, run scores. Alfonso crosses, But Irabu gets a huge ground ball double play off the bat of John Olerud.
Batting fifth, number 8, second baseman Carlos Baerga.
Two big outs for Irabu right there. And last night's ball game, Carlos Baerga getting tips from Tom Robson, the hitting instructor, off of Scott Erickson, telling him to keep the shoulder in there. His next time up in the 4th inning. Make that the 9th inning. He gets a base hit to win the ball game.
Now he faces Irabu, and he takes a strike. I asked Carlos about that tonight, and Baerga said, for the last week, I've not felt comfortable at the plate. My stance is too wide. That's why I wasn't driving it up the middle. This one goes to Knobloch. He makes the flip, and Irabu a big comeback. The Mets will pick up 1 run on 1 hit, leave 1 on, and for Irabu, take a deep sigh. Back after this for Infinity.
Entire post-game story on the Battle of New York.
Plus, the Cadillac NFL Golf Classic and some of the more bizarre moments in sports.
Sports Scene 9 coming up after the game.
I believe in the 98 Mets.
Show up at Shea for Saturday Night Baseball on July 11th. All fans will get a free sports bag courtesy of Fox Sports New York. Be here when the Mets take on the Montreal Expos. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for Sports Bag Night, sponsored by Fox Sports New York.
When are you disappointed to score a run? When your cleanup hitter hits into a double play with the bases loaded and nobody out. 3-2 fastball on the hands. Olerud is jammed. Easily turned by Knobloch and Jeter. A huge play for the Yankees early.
Leiter back to work. 1-0 lead. Tim Raines up, and he fouls it off. No designated hitter tonight, of course. Darryl Strawberry had started a game in left field in the last series against Atlanta. Strawberry, of course, here tonight. He missed the series last year because of an injury at Yankee Stadium when they played the Mets, but he's not in the lineup tonight. Leiter comes inside.
He'll be in the lineup tomorrow and Sunday against the right-handers. Bobby Jones tomorrow going for the Mets, and Masato Yoshi on Sunday night. No way you're going to start Strawberry against a left-hander like Leiter.
And he can't wait to play.
But not against Leiter.
No, he is excited about coming back to Shea. Talk about players. He did not try and tone it down at all. He couldn't talk enough about it. Of course, with the '86 World Champions here, he was the regular right fielder. 2-ball, 1-strike count. 32-year-old Al Leiter and Raines 2-2. Raines didn't like the call and talks to Ed Rapuano. 38 years old now and a .296 career hitter coming into this season. Raines has faced Leiter before. 3 hits and 8 at-bats off this left-hander. And the 2-2's away. This crowd is like a surging sea. Waves of sound around Shea Stadium here tonight, as it will be all weekend. 3-2 delivery to Raines. He's got a base hit. Leadoff man on for the Yankees. Their first hit off Leiter.
This ball down in the strike zone, middle of the plate, hammered to left field. What happens to balls in the middle of the plate? The double play ball that Irabu got with Olerud, and ball in on the hands. Throwing hard is not enough up here.
Especially against this lineup.
That's right.
Jorge Posada playing first base tonight. 41st time. He's been over there at first. So he said Tito Martinez out of the lineup. So Jorge Posada gets the start at first base. With the 40 winter ball experiences there, and now gets to try it at the major league level at first.
He broke in as the second baseman. There's Tino Martinez, still having problems with that right shoulder, plunked by Armando Benitez in mid-May. And Martinez can play, but Joe being Joe Torre, wanted to sit him against the likes of Al Leiter.
Martinez continues to say he's fine. He will not admit to any problem. He wants to be in the lineup, but he has really struggled at the plate since that incident. 0-1 count here with Raines at first. That one chopped. Going to be trouble. Leiter's got to hurry to first. Won't get him. Posada with an infield single.
I think Mike Piazza gave up on this ball. Look at Piazza. Piazza's not even in the picture, even though it did crawl down that third baseline a little farther than Mike thought. But usually you do see your catcher go after a ball like this. He may be waved off by the pitcher. Al Leiter very deliberate in going after it, and Posada, who runs fairly well for a first baseman.
Very well put.
Thank you.
If he was catching, you wouldn't have said that.
No, that's true.
No, that's right. 1-0 lead for the Mets. Yankees threatening here in the second inning. Chad Curtis, 4 for 19, lifetime off Leiter. They come in at the corners, and the pitch is taken inside for a ball. Mets defense jumping. Olerud started in. Alfonso a couple of steps in and played it halfway.
I think Alfonso should be playing back. I don't think Curtis is thinking about bunting here. If he does, it'll be for a base hit. Now Alfonso's given the defensive signals. I don't know what they're going to do, but if he's even with the bag, he's too shallow. Now he backs up a bit.
Curtis does not have a sacrifice all year.
You got the bottom of the order coming up.
Really squeezing in the middle by Erga and Ordonez. They back off. 1-0 delivery, and that's inside. Ball 2. Ron Zimmer, the bench coach there with Joe Torre, his favorite chat partner. And what a help.
Wearing number 50, Popeye's 50th year in the game.
And he is always in the game. 2-0 count. Curtis taking, and a strike on the inside corner to him. Curtis hitting only .235 against left-handers. He's getting these starts, of course, in center field. Well, the all-star center fielder Bernie Williams is out of there. A big opportunity for him to help the Yankees here in this situation at this point of the year. 53-19, best record, of course, in all of baseball. Both home and on the road, #1 records. 2-1. Fouled off 2-2.
Usually when pitchers are behind in the count, especially 2-0 or 3-1, you don't come inside. Those hitters can open up on that pitch. They look for the ball in there. But Leiter doesn't change his style regardless of the count. When he's ahead, he comes inside. When he's behind, he comes inside.
Leiter's got it even up here, 2-2. Raines at second, Posada at first. Nobody out. And we'll have to wait. Backing out of there is Curtis. Both these teams come into this series on win streaks. Yankees have won their last 2, and the Mets have won their last 3. Both doing real well in interleague play. 8-2 for the Yankees, 7-3 for the Mets. 2-2, long look back by Leiter. Full count.
Send the runners? Absolutely. That's the one thing Joe Torre brought to the Yankees, the aggressive National League style. As you look at Scott Brocious, speed on its second. You may see Piazza throw it behind or to the trail runner if Curtis swings and misses. He may try to get Posada at second instead of Raines at third.
Baerga, you see the second baseman is covering here with a right-handed hitter up. He's way over there. He'll back off a little bit off Raines on the pitch. 3-2 count, nobody out. Runners go. Swung on, lined. Ordonez! A great catch! Hang on here! 1, 2. They can't turn 3. But it was that close, baby.
Had Jorge Posada gotten the sign at first base, it's a triple play. Posada didn't run. It's a double steal. Raines runs, Posada doesn't, and that's what prevented the triple play. Look at Posada right there going back to first, chased back by Olerud. Remarkable play by Ordonez. Look at Raines taking off. Again, the same play. And because the catch was so incredible, Ordonez wanted to make sure of the runner at second base because he wasn't sure how far Posada was getting back to first.
2 down, just like that. Last time the Mets had a triple play back in 1989, and they were really close right there. Ray Ordonez continues. Magnificent play at shortstop. Scott Brocious, 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Posada still on at first. The highlight reel continues to grow.
I'm not sure that Ray had possession of the ball with that index finger and middle finger when he went to throw initially. And then he wanted to make sure because he could see Raines in front of him. And he took the easy play at second base without realizing that had he thrown the first time, they get the triple play. Posada at first base. Wow.
Leiter with a 1-2 count here. Fouled straight back by Brocious, the Yankee third baseman. So we've had 2 big defensive plays made in this game already. The Yankees against the Mets on that double play that Olerud hit into in the first inning when the bases were loaded and nobody out. And now this one, a double play with 2 on and nobody out. Brocious, a 1-2 count. Not holding the runner at first on the bag. Up high, 2-2.
Al Leiter has not thrown an off-speed pitch in this ball game. All fastballs.
You know, you got to believe some of that's coming because he knows the scouting report of the Yankees has said a lot about the off-speed pitches he's used this year. Trying to mix it up a little here early on.
Perhaps.
2-2 fouled off. Because we've seen him start games where he's almost thrown entirely off-speed stuff.
His last start, as a matter of fact, first time through the lineup against the Florida Marlins, he featured straight change and curveball. And then the second time through the lineup, it was not one of his better outings, even though he gave up only 2 runs in 7 innings. But then he went to the fastball.
2-2 delivered to Brocious. He got him. With a little help from his friends. By the name of Ray, Al Leiter gets out of that inning. Back after this from Sullivan Smith Barney.
This is exciting. I really can't believe I'm going to get to meet the mayor of New York City. All this because I have a new TV show on UPN. I wonder if he'll let me sit in his chair.
A lot of congratulations for Ray Ordonez again.
And that's the reason right here.
What a catch. Which Husky leads it off against Irabu. 1-0 Mets.
Gary, when you're seeing that whole play develop, you're knowing the runners are going to run. When you don't see Posada run, you assume he missed the sign. Well, on that replay, Olerud.
Husky drives it to right field. Paul O'Neill.
Olerud going behind Posada. That is a play designed by the Mets to keep that runner at first close, but it backfired on the Mets then because had they not used that play, then it's a triple play. We thought he missed the sign. He didn't. He goes back because of Olerud's faking him back, and then he's not close enough to second and is close enough to first to get back. Wow.
Ryan McRae on the off-speed pitch showed bunt, takes a strike. Regardless of what players may have said prior to the start of this game, the first 2 innings of this game are being played like Game 7, 9th inning World Series. I mean,
it's already been a good series.
Yeah, already. 0-1 is in the dirt. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on Brian McRae. 2 for his last 7 for McRae, the switch hitter for the Mets. Very light breeze blowing here tonight after some very light rain went through late this afternoon. Neither team able to take batting practice and fielding practice before tonight's game. Probably for them just as well, with 9 billion people on hand to interview them. Bobby Valentine said average is the last thing you should look at in evaluating a player's offense. He said that tonight, and he was talking about Brian McRae.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. When you consider the Mets' difficulty in scoring runs, how can you say that about the Mets' offense? You know, perhaps you can say that about the other areas in McRae's offense, but not about his average.
And also, to me, average generally is a pretty good indicator of what those other numbers are going to look like.
It's at least some kind of indicator. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
230 batter? Come on. Not admire a guy taking up for his team, but I mean.
3-2 still.
Here, the Mets last night were 2 for 22 with runners on base. But it's, you know, if Bobby abides by that, well, then it's the average that's not that important. And come on, Bobby.
It was a W, but you don't want to win. You won't win many like that.
No.
3-2 again, fouled off. Irabu has walked 2, hasn't struck anybody out. Put away pitch has been hard for him to come by early on here. Alfonso battling with foul balls. McRae now doing the same thing here. 1 down in the 2nd inning and nobody on. Ordonez to follow Brian McRae. Irabu with a 3-2 again. And he walked it. That's 3 walks already given up by Irabu.
Batting 8, number 10, shortstop Ray Ordonez.
The hand, of course, for Ordonez and that magnificent defensive play. Ray steps in with a runner on at first base. 5 hits in his last 11 at-bats. Runner on at first base here. Brocious moves in at 3rd. He's already 2 steps in on the grass. 1 down. Pretty good lead over there by McRae.
Something to consider here. You're less inclined to allow McRae to try to steal because Ordonez has a very poor batting average. So you're more inclined to have the hit and run on. Thereby, if Ordonez can find a hole, you push McRae to 3rd, and then Leiter can get him in on something other than a hit.
McRae 14 stolen bases. Foul back this time.
If you have, excuse me, Gary, if you have the straight steal on here, Brian McRae's got to have designs to steal 3rd too for it to be effective.
One strike count on Ordonez. It'll back Brocious up now on that swing. He goes back even with a bag at 3rd. Pitch out, nothing on. He did not show bunt, and McRae was not running. See Bob Apodaca behind Brian McRae there. Mookie Wilson still away with his family. Personal matters, so Apodaca, the pitching coach, continues coaching at first for New York. Place of Mookie Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Irabu. Ordonez fouls it off down the right field line. No play for O'Neill. And a 1-2 count. Series, of course, sold out. All 3 games. Mets urging all the fans coming to use public transportation wherever possible because it is tough driving in and out. 1-2 count.
Can't we all get along? No.
No. That's the historic classic and still the answer.
It should be. You've got to be kidding me.
1-2 count. See the folks up there on the subway railings Jeter to second. Knobloch to bounce to first. Can't be handled by Posada. Good takeout slide at second base by Brian McRae. Fielder's choice for Ray Ordonez.
That's what did it. Brian McRae barreling into Chuck Knobloch at second base, causing the low throw. This ball hit hard enough. Good toss by Jeter, but watch McRae. But this is just another game for the players. Right. We said it before, and it's just another game.
Just another game.
Yeah. Right.
2 down. Al Leiter, left-handed hitter as he is a pitcher. 4 hits and 28 at-bats on the year. And now you don't want to send McRae because you don't want him to be thrown out and have Leiter leading off the next inning, maybe?
Right.
Strike taken from Irabu, 0-2. Or first Ordonez, rather. As Ordonez. Jorge Posada playing in front of him and off the bag. And Irabu gets his first strikeout against the opposing pitcher, Al Leiter. No runs, no hits, and a base runner left on. Mets lead at 1-0. Back after this from Land Rover. The Yankees down 1-0 here in this ball game as we go to the 3rd inning. A couple have been left on by the Mets and 1 by the Yankees. For Al Leiter, 1-3 lifetime in 4 starts against the club he originally signed with, the New York Yankees. He says that was so long ago, though, not a lot of feelings in that regard still remain. Not that it's just another game, but the Yankees are a long time ago in his career. Joe Girardi, the veteran catcher, leads it off. Strike 1. Seven for his last 17. For Girardi, Irabu will follow, and then the top of the order, and Chuck Knobloch due up. Leiter bounces that one. That's an overhand breaking ball. First one.
First curveball, yep. First off-speed pitch of the ball game for Al.
Girardi, just a 200 hitter off left-handers this year, 4 for 20. Down to third. Alfonso even with a bag plays the big hop. 1 down. In pinstripes, and it wasn't for very long. He was 7-8 with the Yankees from 87 to 89. Hayes in the innings pitched, then traded to Toronto for Jesse Barfield, and of course the great years there, and then on to the Florida Marlins. World Series ring there last year, and now with the New York Mets. Having a great season, all-star season, 9-3, best ERA in the game. Hideki Irabu wasn't sure if you stay in the box or not, and it's a strike to him.
He may not be staying in the box, but they're staying home in Japan as we speak. In Japan right now, it is 9:30, or approaching 9:30 on Saturday morning. NHK, that's NHK, is broadcasting live via satellite throughout the entire country. Estimated 2 million people are watching on a Saturday morning.
Second baseman Chuck Knobloch.
Yasuo Fuji is doing the play-by-play, and Masanori Murakami, who used to pitch for the San Francisco Giants, a left-handed pitcher, faced him back in the middle 60s, as a matter of fact. There's Masato Yoshi on the right, Hideo Nomo on the left, and Irabu starting tonight.
The international game.
Oh, man.
2 down on the strikeout. Leiter's got 2 in the ball game now, and Chuck Knobloch will fly out to left field. Knobloch 2 for 12 and a home run, lifetime off Leiter, and a timeout here. In that regard, a big story today in the New York Times about baseball going international, trying to put together teams to play a World Cup of baseball, if you will, in the future. Teams from different countries made up of Major League players primarily. That's on the table right now for Major League Baseball.
Thinking that it could be a done deal within the next 3 years.
0-1 delivery. Knobloch fouls it back, and a 2-strike count on it. Major League Baseball is planning another tour in Japan. The games to be played after the World Series this year. Irabu, one of the reasons, of course, for these transfer of players from other countries to the majors. Knobloch lets that one go. Fastball down and away from Leiter. 1-ball, 2-strike count on Chuck Knobloch. Obviously, huge acquisition for the New York Yankees. With this outstanding second baseman in this lineup, it's helped them to that 10-game lead they've got. 53 wins. For the Yankees, they've now tied the second-best start ever in Yankee history. It's pretty amazing that it's only second. Tied for second. And the best records for the Yankees in their history goes back to 1928. They are now tied with a 1939 team at this point in the season for the best record of this many games having been played. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Knobloch. That one, a broken bat, foul ball outside of first. And Knobloch will go back and get some new lumber. While he's there, we'll remind you that today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball.
Chuck Knobloch being traded to the Yankees opened up the way for the young Todd Walker with the Minnesota Twins. Todd could be the Rookie of the Year in the American League. He is having a fine year, batting .338. 6th in the American League in hitting.
Three-two count again to Knobloch. And he walked it. First walk given up by Leiter. Comes here in the third inning with 2 down.
Shortstop, Derek Jeter.
The Yankees certainly are not the Bronx Bombers anymore. I wouldn't call them the Bronx Walkers either, even though they do lead the American League in walks. And who is Keith Hernandez? What's that guy's name to the right?
Wasn't he on, was it MASH or?
How could he afford a ticket to get in this game?
He's got that card.
Oh. I guess Keith picked up the bill tonight, right? Jerry Seinfeld. So Hernandez is right.
Derek Jeter hitting .312. 2 down. Yankees with a man on at first base. Jeter grounded out his first time up. Jeter, big numbers against left-handers. 409 against southpaws. That is the second highest average against left-handed pitchers in the American League. He's got a runner at first base, and Leiter will make a soft toss over there into John Olerud.
I think Knobloch, as experienced a base runner as he is, he has 20 stolen bases this year. He's not going to fall prey to the Olerud fakes. What he's doing, he's moving beyond Olerud and watching Leiter. You can see him look back right there. Said he was beyond him. Actually, he was behind him then, but kind of peeking around. You see Leiter's right leg. When that right leg goes behind the left leg, he's committed to go home. Here's Chuck. That play is designed to block the base runner and his view of the pitcher.
Knobloch with those 20 stolen bases, one of the reasons these Yankees are second in the league in stolen bases. Pitches down low, and Derek Jeter ahead on the count now. 3 balls and no strikes with 2 down here and a runner on. 1-0 Met lead. There's Paul O'Neill on deck.
I think Joe Torre will let Jeter hit here, and Derek will try to look, if he is hitting, for a ball down and in so he can golf it.
There it was. Fouled it off, 3-1. Testing's Newton's law, Don Zimmer.
Derek Jeter trying to jerk one off Al Leiter. That ball down and in, and he fouls it off.
Some pretty good motion down and in. Don Zimmer made a nice play. 3-1 count. Knobloch, 20 stolen bases off first, not going. Inside. Strike 3 call. Or strike 2 call. Jeter thought he had ball 4. He was on his way down.
Mets got a break on that one. That looked like ball 4 to me. I was throwing my bat away with Derek.
You weren't alone.
No.
I had the copy to throw to commercial right here. 3-2 count. Back he goes. Ricky Henderson still leading the American League with 32 stolen bases. Knobloch is 7th with 20. Olerud stays in front of him here. 3-2 delivery. Fouled off again by Jeter. These hitters on both sides not giving in here and working these pitchers hard early in this game.
That's the thing. We mentioned it our last broadcast with Al Leiter facing the Marlins. If right-handers are going to put the good part of the bat on the ball, they have to pull it foul because that pitch is boring in on them. The only time you're going to keep it fair is if you break your bat.
3-2 again, runner goes. That's why, Timmy, for Leiter, right-handers are hitting 201 off him. That's right-handers off a left-hander 201. Left-handers do better at 238 because of that pitch.
Here's that prior pitch. That 3-2 pitch, you can see when you put the ball in play on the fat part of the bat, you got to pull it foul.
3-2, third time, 2 down. Knobloch back in the bag. Yankees have a chance to lead the league in stolen bases this year. They are second right now. They haven't led the American League in stolen bases since 1985. 3-2 count. Pitch number 50 by Leiter is a ground ball to short. Ray Ordonez. No runs, no hits. Base runner left on. Mets lead it by a score of 1-0. Back after this from Chrysler.
Now get extra savings with the Chrysler Owner's Bonus Sale.
Here's what we were talking about with Derek Jeter. Remember the ball he pulled foul on that 3-2 count, that ball boring in on him. That's pulled foul, and then the out was the ground ball to shortstop in on the hands to break his bat. That's what we were talking about. To keep it fair, you almost have to trade a bat to keep it fair.
And might not get much out of that bat.
No.
Edgardo Alfonzo takes the pitch up high, and Irabu continues to struggle out of the strike zone here as he falls behind. 2-0. Alfonzo had a great at-bat in the first inning. 10 pitches. Fought off Irabu and got a walk, and has scored the only run in this game. This one foul back and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Irabu has walked 3 already and struck out 1. Edgardo Alfonzo has moved around in the lineup, of course, for the Mets this season. Number 2 hitters, where he's primarily been spotted most of his career. And Mets need that bat at the top, though, in the on-base percentage. Foul back again, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Yogi Berra just walked in, and that's my heart just flippity flops on that one.
What I was impressed with was Yogi's throw to home tonight. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, what a cannon you still have.
Oh, you were too? 2-ball, 2-strike count. I'll tell you what impresses me even more. Did you hear what Yogi just said? I said, how's the book going? 4th printing.
Wow.
4th in the New York Times bestseller list.
So it's more than 4
More
printings.
than 4 printings. Holy cow.
Telling you. Everything. All I know is they're selling yours at Shea Stadium and not mine.
2-2.
St. Louis, Tim. I sent 3,000 books.
Is that right?
3,000.
God.
St. Louis.
It's worth it, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I got to see the family and all that.
That's
that
great.
was good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Took them out to dinner on the hill.
I bet you went to Dominic's.
No, we went to Zia's.
Zia's. All right. Yogi growing up on the hill in St. Louis, down the street from Joe Garagiola. Across the street, sorry.
2-2. And strike 3 call. Irabu gets his second strikeout.
Yogi correcting me quite promptly.
Very promptly. I'm staying out of this conversation.
You're learning the television business.
There's enough of them, I'll tell you that, boy.
What a thrill it must be to come back to Shea under these circumstances.
After 25 years, it's pretty darn good. You know, a lot of guys think I did it because of Steinberg. It wasn't. It was 25 years. That manager, we won the thing.
1973.
Right. See, they asked me to come out opening day over here to throw out the ball, but I couldn't make it. I had something else to do.
You were writing a book.
Yeah? No, not that part. No.
That book was already written.
That book is done, right, yeah. I gotta ask you a serious question about that. How much does it hurt you not to be going back to Yankee Stadium?
Oh, I don't know yet. I can't tell you.
Really, you don't know yet?
No, not yet. No.
Well, does it hurt? That's a very good question.
Not right now, it doesn't. Maybe one of these days I might surprise a lot of guys. I don't know. But right now, I'm happy. I'm neutral in the game tonight. Like to see a good game. Really good.
You're seeing a good game.
So,
what a breaking ball. Oh, mercy. Yogi caught looking and the knees buckled. Strikeout number 3 for Irabu.
Ralph Kiner used to call these jelly legs right here. And boy, those legs turned to jelly.
Yeah.
That was a nasty breaking ball from Irabu.
not bad.
You caught.
It's a little bit of a hanger, though. He could have swung with that.
2 down, Mike Piazza. Jeez, you are a hard critic, Yogi.
No, Yogi's finding out that just like we all find out, it's much easier up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I love when the ball hung inside.
You liked it. You liked it inside, and you liked it high too, didn't you?
Well, anywhere in that area.
Try me.
In other words, anything you could reach, right?
Yep.
Off the bat of Piazza.
We talked earlier that Hideki Irabu could not come inside the Piazza because he doesn't have that tail and fastball, but he came in then.
Yep.
How many times have you been to your new ballpark?
2 times.
2 times.
I'm going out to New Park Sunday. We're giving hot dogs for 50 cents.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful.
The museum's going up real good, too. I'm real happy on that.
Love that.
Yep.
Chopper towards the middle. Jeter over. Gobbles it up.
Both of them.
Pretty good, Yogi. He can play, can he? 1, 2, 3 inning. There's Yogi throwing out that first pitch. Threw it just like a catcher. Way to go. We'll be back after this from Dodge.
Bryce.
Giants and the Jets play here August 20th on UPN 9.
Well, the series has already lived up to the anticipation. The Mets have the 1-0 lead. First inning run coming on a double play ground ball. Irabu and Leiter battling each other. Those are the numbers through the first 3. We go to the 4th inning. Gary Thornton, McCarver, Jerry Seinfeld, Keith Hernandez, and Yogi Berra.
I saw Keith tonight when he came in. He said he couldn't get a seat. He had to call Jerry.
I should have called you. Paul O'Neill.
I got my whole family over. All my grandkids are over there and everything.
Tell the people now who you practiced with for that first pitch tonight.
With my granddaughter.
I love that.
Lindsay.
Lindsay?
Yep.
1-0 count on O'Neill. And that one ripped a shot to center, base hit. 5-game hit streak for Paul O'Neill now.
That's a great adjustment by O'Neill. You may remember he was jammed the first time up and grounded weakly to Carlos Baerga. This is a similar pitch. Watch how he brings the hands in, head down, and hammers one to center. Well, what a hitter he has been for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, he's been a good hitter. He's coming along really. Started off slow, but he's coming along real good.
Year after year, he puts up great numbers. He's a .287 career hitter coming into this year. Now the Yankee and Met fans start their own battle here in the stands. Raines had a single his first time up. Strike 1 on Tim Raines, hitting at .288.
He keeps going.
38 years old, and it runs in the family. The Baltimore Orioles have just signed his son, Little Rock.
He's hoping he can hang around long enough to play a baseball game with his son. 1-0 count on Raines. Leiter. Outside corner.
I was looking up at St. Louis in Minnesota. I thought maybe McGuire's got a home run over. That's a good ballpark to hit in.
At Metrodome in Minnesota. Minnesota over the Cardinals 1-0 in the top of the third.
Can you believe the home runs, Yogi, that are being put out by everybody?
Boy.
It's unbelievable.
But Sosa, what you got, 20 in a month?
Yep.
0-2 delivery. Raines takes it.
McGuire with 35 home runs, Sosa with 32, and King Griffey Jr. with 30.
There might be 3 guys hitting 60.
Maybe. Maybe.
1-2 count on Raines. Mets 1-0 lead. They've held on to since the first inning. Yankees and Mets have both threatened on other occasions. That one is ripped foul by Raines. You get out in front of it.
Something I've never asked you. In all seriousness, how tough was it on Roger Maris in 1961?
He had it tougher, I think, than now. You know, television wasn't in he was getting wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock, writers calling him up, and he just couldn't handle it then. You know, he didn't know that many people, writers were going to be around television.
Olerud's got to make a play, and he'll get the runner at first. Raines, O'Neill goes to second.
Did Rogers' Yankee teammates, of which you were one, did you know it at the time that it was taking its toll, that it would ultimately prove?
Well, yeah, a little bit. But then Roger got all right. Mickey and Roger were very close. I'm not kidding. They were very close. Like, we were pulling from both of them. We didn't care.
Mickey had 54, right?
That's right. We wanted to win the pennant. We didn't care who hit the home runs, and they pulled for each other. They really did. And Roger was a good ball player.
I'll say.
Jorge Posada, runner at second base. Yankees with a chance here to get this ball game tied up. 1 down.
A lot of people think because he had 61 home runs that he was a one-dimensional ball player, but he could throw. He always threw to the right base.
Run for a big man.
Go from first to third.
Very good. And a good
always
outfielder.
hit the cutoff man.
Good outfielder.
He was.
O'Neill off second base. And that one's going to be a base hit up the middle. Ryan McRae up with it. O'Neill around third. This game's tied at 1. Jorge Posada, the RBI.
Part of the magic that Joe Torre has worked all season long. Jorge Posada had not played first base all year. In his first start, he's 2 for 2 and ties it with a single up the middle. Everything Joe does is working this year.
So far. Well, Casey used to do that too. He used to pretty good. It's good when you got players you can maneuver around. It is.
Chad Curtis. Towering pop-up, third base. Alfonso. How to battle it. 2 down.
You know, Whitey Ford's out here tonight, too. He's
Oh, he is.
watching
I didn't see Whitey.
Yeah. He called my wife last night and said, if I knew you were throwing out the first ball, I would have called it for you.
Oh, that would have been a switch.
I knew it.
Boy, you caught quite the staffs of the New York Yankees. Those guys they could pitch.
Was Ford the best pitcher you caught?
Well, we had quite a few at Ford, Rashy, Williams, Lopat, Pop Turley. We did all right, I'll tell you. We always had somebody in there. Just like we had over St. Louis when we played.
Classic understatement.
Yogi, it's great seeing you.
Okay.
Now, I hope you're selling Timmy's book at your ballpark.
No, yeah.
Okay, thank you
We're
very
going
much.
to try.
I'm coming over and checking, too.
Okay.
Back after this from Toyota. Stadium tonight, this game being brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz, your total home entertainment center. And by your local Greater New York Toyota dealer. Toyota, every day. Gary Thorne, Tim McCarver, and Yogi. Wow.
A beautiful man.
I'm telling you. Irabu faces John Olerud and gets the strike in. Olerud get into the double play his first time up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Big out for Irabu, who has walked 3, struck out 3, and the Mets with just 1 hit Off Irabu so far in this game. Olerud the strike on the outside corner. Irabu settling in.
After throwing that double play ball to John Olerud with the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning.
2-strike count. Inside to him just to back him off a little bit. Set him up for another outside pitch maybe here. John's average, he'd been in the top 10 hitting in the National League virtually all of this season. He has dropped out of that now, not just by about 3 points with that 324 average. That breaking ball, that one misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Olerud.
That's the thing about Irabu. He gives you so many looks. The slow curve ball, you think about this at bat. The slow curve and then the splitter that missed on the 0-2 count. And the good fastball away.
2-2 to Olerud, and it's up high, full count. He can be his own worst enemy with the walks. I mean, with those averages we told you about, there aren't going to be many hits off him in a game when he's pitching. 3-2, he gets Olerud.
Second baseman, Carlos Baerga.
4 strikeouts. Olerud does not go down swinging very often. He has struck out only 35 times this year. Carlos Baerga. Baerga grounded out his first time up, 3 hits in his last 9 at bats, 286 on the year for him. Talking about Carlo before, Carlo saying that stance of his, he said too wide, had to shorten it up, and he said, who calls me? My dad. Now his dad's here for this series. His dad watches him on TV and said, you got those feet too far apart. He said, I closed them down with that 3rd at bat the other night, and that's when I got the base hit to center. He said, but I have to keep thinking about it. For some reason, he said, I'm just spreading that stance out more than I have in the past, and I don't feel comfortable when I do it.
It's an awkward way to hit. With that open stance, it's very stiff with not a lot of flexibility.
Losada makes the play, and there are 2 down.
Right fielder, Butch Husky.
2 down, bases empty. Butch Husky coming up. This is where the Mets, of course, have struggled this year offensively. They're pitching best in the majors, team-wise, ERA. Trying to put runs on the board has been a problem. 1-1 ball game here in the 4th inning, and Husky flying out to right field his first time up. Going for the down, strike 1.
Why that first inning was such a killer for the Mets. They do not have many innings where they load the bases with nobody or 1 out. When they do, they have to capitalize because of the infrequency of having innings like that.
Chopper to short, Derek Jeter, the easy hop. And Irabu retires the side in order. That's 8 in a row now. He is set down, 9 if you count the fielder's choice. 1-1 back after this from Dunkin' Donuts.
The people doing the battle.
Sports Team 9 is coming up after the game.
1-1 ball game, 5th inning, a hot, humid baseball night, and a reminder that on August 20th, the NFL comes to UPN 9 when the Giants and the Jets collide in preseason action live from the Meadowlands.
It is that time.
You folks can turn to UPN 9 for every play as these 2 teams battle for Big Apple bragging rights. The Giants and the Jets, Thursday, August 20th at 8 o'clock right here on UPN 9.
Joe Girardi. Turn, got hit. Tried to turn away from that and couldn't. So the leadoff man on again for the Yankees. That's the 3rd of 4 innings they've had the leadoff man on in this game.
That's the 7th hit batsman by Al Leiter this year, and that's one of the problems with that cut fastball, because in order to be effective, he has to keep it inside. And this ball tails in too much to Joe Girardi. Joe tries to get out of the way. Looks like it hit him on the left shoulder. And Irabu up there to bunt.
So Leiter Now faces Irabu. Obvious bunt on here. Struck out his first time up. Try and catch Girardi over there. You may note, see those uniforms? Mets, no names. Just like the Yankees. Mets usually have names in the back of their uniforms. These are new uniforms.
Que pasa?
Que pasa? Nelson Doubleday, co-owner, likes the tradition of no names. Bunted foul. So the Mets got new uniforms for this series of the Yankees and took the names off. Girardi will come back. 1 strike count on Irabu.
Olerud out to talk to Leiter to tell him what he's going to do. One of 3 things. Nobody was better at this particular play than Keith Hernandez. As a matter of fact, Hernandez worked with Olerud in spring training about the bunt play with a runner on at first.
Trying to make that out at second base.
That's one of them, and Leiter almost threw it away.
We talked about that roving target created over there. When Olerud's moving around, so he's looking at Bruce Benedict now.
This is 3. So it's the third one. Olerud can charge, and Leiter will step off. And now Olerud's going to tell Leiter, you know, sometimes some plays like this are just not worth it. I mean, you got a pitcher in a rhythm like that, like Leiter is. I mean, he's leading the majors in earned run average. Now all of a sudden he's got to divert his attention to a pickoff play. Some guys can do it, but Al looks confused out there.
1 strike count. Again, the throw over. The reason Leiter obviously has got to get this right is Olerud's making these moves, so Leiter's got to be in sync with him. Or he's out of position.
Well, that's right, because if Olerud charges, Girardi will run if Leiter goes to the plate.
Charging this time, the bunt popped up, foul. So Irabu unable to get the first 2 down. 2 strikes on him with nobody out. 1-1 ball game. Irabu trying to move a base runner up here, and again Olerud will come over and make sure that they're on the same page.
The one thing about Girardi is an excellent base runner. You're going to say, well, he's a little short, squatty catcher.
I didn't say that.
But no, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. He had 13 stolen bases a couple of years ago.
Strike 3.
No, I didn't say that either, but that's what they say about catchers. You're short, squatty, big, thick ankles. You can't run a lot. You know what I mean.
Irabu can't bunt. Understandably, rarely gets the chance. So that's 1 away. Irabu doesn't get it done. Girardi remains on at first base, and Chuck Knobloch coming up.
Barrel of the bat under the ball, and you're going to pop it up. And he did.
Now Knobloch, who has walked and flied out to left field. Irabu unable to help himself. Olerud will still stay off at first base with the right-handed batter up here. And that cutter's on the inside corner for a strike to Knobloch. Right from the get-go, first inning of this game. Almost every pitch, every at-bat being played like 9th inning, 2 down. 0-1 delivery. That gets away from Piazza. Girardi a turn at second. That's where he'll stay. Well, that takes care of the sacrifice bunt that was needed right there.
This should be a pass ball. Piazza is sitting outside. And what happened on that play, he blocked himself out. A lot of times a catcher's arms get inside the shin guards. And when you try to move to your left, as Mike did, you're blocked out. You actually block yourself out. Move the left arm over, but your leg's there. Watch his left arm right here. So you can't move because the shin guard's there. You have to keep the arms flexible and above the shin guards.
Now Knobloch with a 1-1 count. Got a potential go-ahead run out there at second base in the person of Girardi. And he drills it. Foul. 1-2. Knobloch at 276 with runners in scoring position for this Yankee team, which is second in runs in the American League. Great balance on this ball club. Second best ERA in the league. second in runs, second in average, first and fewest home runs surrendered. That's why they've got all those W's. 1-2 delivery up the middle. Leiter couldn't get it. Base hit. McRae coming. Girardi makes the turn. He'll score. No play at the plate. Yankees lead 2-1. Knobloch, the RBI single.
Well, we want to take you back to all those throws at first base. You know, those throws with a guy like Leiter. To me, you're thinking too much in the game. I know that's part of the Mets and the way they play the game. This ball back through the box could have been fielded by Leiter. But since all those throws to first base, I'm not blaming it all on that. But he's been out of sync. Got the pass ball, the ball down and in. And now the base hit by Knobloch.
28 RBIs for Knobloch. Derek Jeter still one away. And the cutter missed inside, ball one. That will bring Piazza out to talk to Leiter, maybe trying to settle him down a bit. Leiter is a very emotional pitcher.
Yeah, he is.
And if he gets upset by something like you were talking about, Timmy, with all those throws, it really affects his presence on the mound.
Some guys don't like all those trick plays. They get into a rhythm when they're pitching, and they don't want to be upset by the intervening pickoff throw. The one thing the Yankees can do is really drive in that final nail, and Joe Torre loves to play aggressively when he's ahead. Counts in Jeter's favor. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Knobloch running here.
1-0 count on Jeter. And that one is Ordonez again. A little easier that time.
Right fielder.
2 down.
Didn't have to range as far to his right, did he? Jeter jammed again. Leiter has been living inside on Derek Jeter, and for the most part, all of the right-handers. Good base running by Knobloch. You can't get doubled up on the line drive to the left side, because if the ball gets over the shortstop or third baseman's head, you're only going to go to second anyway.
Now Paul O'Neill. O'Neill singled and scored in the fourth inning. Came around on the RBI single by Jorge Posada. Runner at first, 2 down now. Knobloch not going, and a strike on the outside corner. See Ray Ordonez, shortstop, way over there, behind, almost behind second base. Derek Jeter's taking an 0 for 3, unable to get one off Leiter. Fouled off the other way by O'Neill. Strike 2. Two-strike count. Got him outside corner. O'Neill didn't think so. 4th strikeout for Leiter.
It's time for the rock and roll.
Back after this from Ford.
Quite verbal with a lot of American League umpires. Ball does not make a quiet out. He may have had a case here unless the ball caught the front corner. Did it? Very close. Piazza catching it about 6 inches outside, but Paul punched out. Surely you jest, is what Paul said, the home plate umpire.
To which Ed Rapuano responded, "Don't call me Shirley." Brian McRae takes the pitch up high. McRae, Ordonez, and Leiter. Yankees on top, 2-1. 2-5-0 for the Yankees. 1-1-0 for the Mets. 1 hit, and that was in the first inning by Bernard Gilkey. This one may be number 2. Deep to right field, near the pole. Goodbye, home run. the bat. Brian McRae ties this ball game up. 30 RBIs on the year, 9 home runs. Rare Dodgers. That ball right off the screen on the fair pole. Oh, 1 to Ordonez. Irabu's given up 9.
A high fastball to Brian McRae on the inside part of the plate.
The 9 home runs off Irabu, 6 have been hit by left-handers. And McRae got his left-handed, the switch hitter. 8 of his 9 from the left side. Pop foul by Ray Ordonez and a 2-2 count on the Mets shortstop.
Ray should play a little game with himself. We talked about in spring training. Anytime he hits a foul ball up in the air, he ought to find himself a buck. Got to stay on top of the ball in order to be a good hitter. Particularly a guy like Ray Ordonez, who is a high ball swinger and not a high ball hitter.
Three ball, 2-strike count. O'Neill in right. Curtis coming over from center calls him off and puts it away. First out here in the 5th inning after McRae led it off with a home run. Well, the fireworks continue here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Leiter takes the strike. Leiter has had 1 at-bat and struck out. Ball game tied at 2. Mets now with just the 2 hits, but equaling the Yankees in runs. Leiter, strike 2. Four for 29 on the year at the plate for Leiter. Irabu outside without a ball and 2 strikes. And that's a strikeout. Irabu's 5th of the game, 2 coming against Leiter. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Third baseman Edgardo Alfonso.
Didn't mention, Timmy, Yankees did make a change today. Apparently right before the game, Jeff Nelson, the reliever, went on the DL with lower back problems.
Mike Buddy called up for the 2nd time this year. Called up from Columbus, the AAA affiliate of the Yankees.
A change in the bullpen for the Yankees. Edgardo Alfonso, bases empty and 2 away. Alfonso scored the first run for the Mets, leading the game off with a walk and scored on the double play hit in due by John Olerud. McRae's homer, the 2nd for New York. Yankees, they get 1 in the 4th inning. That one drilled left field. Alfonso got all of it. Goodbye, home run. Edgardo Alfonso and the Mets lead it 3-2.
Nobody on. He was looking for something to drive. He got the low fastball, and that's his long ball.
The topper by Gilkey. Girardi gets him at first. But the Mets use the long ball. 2 home runs, McRae and Edgardo Alfonso. And those 2 runs put him on top. Alfonso right now with the go-ahead. Back after this from nobody beats the Wiz.